Hey, what's up, bubs? Welcome to the basic concept. Thank you for tuning in, and in this video I will break down inflation as simply as possible. If you do find this information useful or helpful, leave a like and feel free to hit that subscribe button as well. So what is inflation? Well, inflation is the reduction of buying power of your money. So every year the buying power of your money is reduced by approximately 2 to 3%. But not all of this is bad. Inflation basically is a necessary evil to keep the economy balanced. Let's travel back in time a little bit, back to when the US dollar was backed by gold, and not just the Fed saying what the value is. 1971 is when we stopped that. It is important because there's a finite amount of gold in the world. We cannot create any more of it. We either have to find more or go mine an asteroid for it. I am a physics nerd, and that technology for mining asteroids does not exist yet. Dollar, however, is something we print more of every year, so the value has to be adjusted accordingly. So anyways, now the value of the dollar is what the feds say it is. For that reason, it's no different than an IOU. Except this IOU is the American dollar, which is from the Federal Reserve. Okay, so now that we know the history and a little bit of the basics behind inflation, let's get into why there is inflation. So in the basic economics, inflation is a result of supply and demand. And that's going to do it for this video. Just kidding. It's not quite as simple as that. Let me share the three main reasons how supply and demand creates inflation, and also why it creates a need for it. So the first up is going to be demand pull and cost push inflation. And no, I didn't just make these up. These are actual economics terms. What they state is that when the demand grows faster than the supply, inflation must happen. To explain this, let's imagine that we have a 100% employment rate. This would increase competition between companies, inevitably increasing salary to attract more workers to them, which indirectly increases the cost of goods. The more they pay their workers, the higher the cost of their goods and the lower the buying power of their money. That is the oversimplified version of demand pull and cost push inflation. But hopefully it made sense. If the company has to pay its employees more, their product has to cost more to stay profitable. Supply and demand of labor. Second reason is going to be devaluation. This is mainly caused by import and export. If you are importing expensive goods, there is less other stuff we can buy with the money we have left over. Conversely, if we are exporting goods that are cheap, there are less of those goods left for us to buy since a lot of them are being exported, increasing demand, and the cycle continues. Basically, very similar to the first one, but instead here we are working with supply and demand of goods instead of labor. And finally, printing more money. The central bank or the Treasury Department is in charge of printing paper currency. The government does keep a very close eye on the rate of inflation because they need to keep it in balance. When they print more money, there obviously is more money, which reduces the buying power of it. However, the feds must maintain this rate of inflation between 2 to 3%. If the rate of inflation is too high, poor and middle class will not be able to afford anything, declining the economy. Conversely, if the inflation rate isn't high enough, there will be less labor available since it's easier to buy goods and services. Supply and demand of money in circulation. The main thing to take away from this is that inflation is a very real thing. It's costing you and everyone 2 to 3% a year if you have any money that's sitting idle. To protect yourself, you can choose to invest that money and get interest or growth on it. Worst case scenario, you can choose a bank that comes close to the inflation rate with their interest rate. There are tons of them that will offer you 1.5% or higher. If you don't feel comfortable investing your money, a bank with a high interest rate savings account is going to be the safest way to protect your money against inflation. And that will do it for this video. Let me know what you think of this video by hitting the like button below, or you can share it with your friends and family. You can also leave a comment below telling me what you thought. Additionally, if you want some free stuff, check out my referral links below. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.